Hi, this is Khalif here. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a survey to restart conversations with your customers so that the automation starts, right? So let's take a look at how this looks like. So here's a challenge sometimes. So sometimes when we are, doing, we're chatting with someone, and then what happens is they, we ask a question, but they forgot to answer, or they just stop somewhere. So the conversation stops, right? So when the conversation stops, we want to restart it so that the chatbot can take over. So how I do this is by sending a survey. So one of the most used surveys is our main menu survey, right? So if I send in a main menu survey, it'll look like that. So I send it over, and then straight away they are in my main menu, right? How can I help you today? So whatever they choose, talk to the team or WhatsApp for Teams, it will be in an automation until I take over the chatbot, so I speak to them as a human. Until that happens, they'll be in this. But to do this is the purpose of this video today. So how to start this? Let's start it now, right? So how you want to do it is you want to go to surveys and you want to add a survey. Okay, so adding a survey, you first want to name your survey. So first one here, let's name it main menu. Well, let's not name it main menu. Let's name it, let's say I want to hire someone, right? So this is recruitment. Recruitment. So they're talking to me, and then they're in a recruitment session. So I want them to continue the recruitment session, but I want the chatbot to guide them. Okay, so recruitment. Then the first one here is, so I can choose either I want to choose just normal questions, which is text, or I can add other questions to ask for number, phone number, date, or multiple choice, email, website rating. So when using this for a chatbot, best is to use multiple choice so that they are guided in where we want to bring them. So here I'll add multiple choice, which means I'll delete this first one. Okay. So under the multiple choice, I'll ask a question, right? So let's say they're interested, and I want to, be part of the team, stuff like that. So the things that I want to ask them would be, great. So the first one would be, what are the options? So let's go to options, what I want them to do. So two things that I want them to do. Number one is I want them to fill up a form, right? So in this, we'll call it start recruitment or start hiring process. Let's just say that, right? Start hiring process. So when the person comes in, they'll see, hey, I'm interested, and then I'll ask, great. I'll say, please choose from the options below. Choose from the options below. You may request to speak to a person, right? You may request to speak to a manager, or start your hiring process now. Then I will show emoji pointing down so that they know to choose, right? And then they'll have here, one is start hiring process, number two is speak to manager. Speak to manager. Great, so there's two options, okay? And then a fallback would be, just in case they type something else that is not these two, I would say Please choose from the options given. Right? Please type a number from the options given. Great. So we want to also save this as a custom field and save as tag, right? So save as custom field, I want to save it into user input so that I can create automations after that. Okay, so later on, if anything that's in user input later on, whenever start hiring process is saved in user input, we will trigger another automation. If speak to manager is saved in user input, we will start another automation. So we're going to create 2 more automations after this once we create this survey. Okay, so the survey done. I'll create that. Great. So what that will look like is whenever someone is chatting with me, like for example, over here, this person, let's say example, this person is asking, hi, I'm interested to, to register to become an employee. Then all I need to do is I just click on survey and then I'll find that survey that I just created just now, right? So the survey just now was, what was it? I can't remember. Was it job opportunity? I can't remember. So you're gonna remember, right? Otherwise, how are we supposed to do that? YesHello call, no, not that one. Is it job opportunity? Let's see that. Nope, not that one. Recruitment, is it? Yes, it's called recruitment. Okay, so we want to go to where we just now, messages. So on the messages, we're going to test this out. We go over here and then I'll click on like that and I'll find recruitment, send it over, and then it'll go there. So let's not send it to her, let's send it to me so that I can always click on it, right? So I'll go all, I'll find myself, where's Khalif, there you go. And then I'll send this person, recruitment, send. Okay, so please choose from the options below. You may request to speak to a manager or start your hiring process now. Okay, let's take a look at what that looks like in real life, right? So, YesHello, the company, has just sent me, Khalif, in my WhatsApp, this, because just now let's pretend, just now I said that I'm interested to apply for the job, right? So they say here, please choose from options below. You may request to speak to you want to put this copywriting properly so that it makes sense, but you will get the message, right? So I have 2 options here, start hiring process or speak to a manager. So now if I click on one, then start hiring process will be saved into user input and we want to trigger another automation, right? So if they pick number 2, then speak to a manager would be triggered. So how do we create these 2? So I'll show you how to create these 2 automations now. Next, we want to go to automation. So I would suggest first, let's create the start hiring process. Copy that. Why? It's because we need it exactly right? The cases, uppercase, lowercase. So add that. So rule name is, I'll just name it that so that we know exactly what it is. So what is the trigger that will trigger this whole automation? It is when a custom field changes or is saved, right? So it changes what custom field we said just now was user input. If the user input is changed to this, then we want to fire an automation. So what is the action? What is the action that we want to do if this happens? Is number 1, we want to send a message. So what is this message? I want to say, awesome, right? Let's get you started. First one. Then I want to add another action. So the next action is I want to assign this person to a team member so that this team member will get a notification inside their email then they can follow up. So this person will be in charge of it. So let's say I'll send it to Jane. The next action I want to do is, what do I want this person to do? I want this person, once I say, hey, awesome, let's get you started, is I want to perhaps get them to send me some questions, answer some questions, right? So I want to now send another message. There's a lot of things I can do. Send a file, send a survey, right? I can send a file. Let's send a file. So I want to send a file. I want to send a file called the business plan because they need to read the business plan. And then I want to send a message saying, please download the business plan document and please read. Next, please answer these questions below. Okay, what questions? So I added the content here. Now the text message would be, number one would be question 1 here, right? And then I'll go down. Number 2 would be question 2 here, right? Etc. etc. So they can answer that. Okay. I can add another action or not. So I think I'll just leave it as that and I'll create. So if somebody clicks on start hiring process, they will have all these things happen. So create that. Next would be if they wanted to speak to a manager. So if they wanted to speak to a manager, I'll still do the same. Go automation, add automation, I'll name it there. What is the trigger? The trigger is the same as before. If a custom field changes, what custom field is user input? What is the value inside? Would be speak to manager, of course. And then I want to first assign this person again to Jane. And I want to add a message saying, sure, I have notified the person in charge. They will get back to you ASAP. Please leave your contact details below. Details below. Great. So now I've got the two things happening, two options created, right? So if I were to choose number 2 over here, it will come out the one that was the last one, right? So let's do number 1 first. So I pick number 1. First, we want to make sure all the automations are on, right? Automation should be on. Let's go over here, speak to managers, start hiring process, they're on. Great. So number 1, I click that. So this should be asking for information, etc., etc. Let's go back to messages. Mine. Let's go to new. All. There you go. Content's there. Let's go back here. Here you go. Right. Number 1. Awesome. Let's get you started. Please download the business plan doc and please read. So this is, we pretend this is the document. Please answer these questions below. Question 1 here, question 2 here. Then I answer, done. Right? Or what if I want to do number 2? Let's do test number 2. So now it's stuck, finished, right? Same thing. So because it's stuck here, what can we do to restart this conversation again? Is to send that survey again. So we go there, we click on recruitment, and then it will send those questions so that to start the automation. So for me, on my side, here is what I see. So let's say I pick on number 2. And what's going to happen is it's going to be routed to someone, and then I'm going to be sent a So it says speak to manager. Survey is completed. Sure, I've noted the person in charge. They will get back to you as soon as possible. Please leave your contact details below. Right? So that should come out on my side. There you go. Sure, I've notified the person in charge, etc., etc. Okay, so I hope that helps. That's how you use the survey to restart communications with your contacts and get the chatbot to take over your live communication. All right, if there's any questions, you can just contact me again. Hope this helps. Have an awesome day. I'll see you in the next video.